Okay, so my point number 3 in the why is anime so good list is anime is incredibly diverse. And by diverse I mean the word diversity has been abused so much that it doesn't really have that much of a meaning in real world terms anymore. But what I mean by it here is that anime is not really limited to anything. It can look like anything. It can be something like Sidonia no Kishi. It can be something stupid like Mitsudome, and then it can be something pretty evil and dark like Ajin. It can be something cute and funny like Kobayashi-san Maid dragon, and then it can be something like Berserk. I mean, it's really not limited to anything, and this is why I think that anime is perhaps the ultimate visual art, because you could argue that okay, maybe painting is it, but painting is static. It has no animation, it has no movement, it has no music, it has no sound. You could argue that cinema is it, but cinema and opera, for example, which is also considered a king's entertainment, they both have one big problem. They rely on real people, on real actors, and real actors have limitations. Real actors have their faces, and they can't just go and switch their faces around between movies or between performances. I mean, you can do stuff with makeup and whatever, but it won't change who you are, and it shows. I mean, if you are watching the 27th movie with, I don't know, Leonardo DiCaprio or Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know who they are. I mean, it just isn't the same. I mean, when you go into an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, you just, okay, yeah, here's the Terminator, and it absolutely doesn't matter what he is trying to act like. Nobody cares about that anyway, usually. So it's a bit better with the really talented actors who can, kind of morph into the role. It's a far cry from the diversity that you get in anime, where you can on the one hand have someone like Shota and Kobayashi and someone like Guts and Berserk, and all this can change anytime. I mean, even in the plain shonen series, you basically have Goku at the start and you have Goku at the end, and it's really different. Although the fun thing is, in the Japanese version, the seiyuu for Goku is the same across the spectrum. So it's this woman voicing the the really super overpowered Super Saiyajin 3 Goku. It's kind of funny in the Japanese version, and this is perhaps one of the cases where the dub is actually better suited for this particular character. But yeah, I'm digressing. Basically, what I want to say is that anime is so diverse that after 20 years of watching it, every single season there are probably, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, 5 shows which kind of are novel and interesting. They're not like anything I've seen before, or not exactly like anything I've seen before. And sometimes, of course, it's less. Some seasons are pretty boring, and you get mostly sequels or game adaptations which, well, are a little bit slow, and they move the plow along like a donkey. But I'd say that I don't really remember a season when I didn't have at least one show that I would be following and that I would consider fun to watch. And I think I haven't seen a Hollywood movie which I've considered fun to watch since Avatar. That was 7 years ago, and it's a long time ago. So, well, I mean, you can probably blame me for not being super attentive towards Hollywood movies, but yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I do get what we get on TV and in the cinemas, and there's just nothing. I mean, to me, Hollywood is kind of dead, and yeah, that's basically what it is. The anime industry is where it's at, and I think in future, especially if they come up with a decent monetizing model and a direct distribution model to possibly the whole world, that would be awesome. Then probably anime will ultimately kind of, you know, eat up and replace a certain share, not all of course, but a certain share of the real movie market. It's already visible to an extent where Western companies are trying to copy anime to produce, you know, anime-inspired games or their own. I wouldn't call it anime because it's not real anime. I mean, the Japanese would call it anime because it's animation, but it's not exactly anime because it lacks the soul, the culture of the anime and the whole, you know, the whole background behind it. It only looks like anime, but it's a cartoon. And yeah, but even that is actually not a bad thing in my opinion. I mean, if they copy at least the art style, then perhaps the kids that watch it will at least be curious and will be more open to watching some of these weird Japanese cartoons, which they don't understand. But of course, once they start to watch it, they'll like it and they'll want more and more and more. It's a drug. Well, in a way it is probably, but I don't think it's the bad type of drug in my opinion. Though some people would argue. I mean, I've even seen some idiotic petitions to, you know, ban all animes. Facepalm. Dear Lord. Idiocracy now. That's what it is. Anyhow, that's it for my point number 3, the diversity of anime.